Hey, I am pretty excited to talk about triggers today and how I triggered a group of conscious business owners yesterday. And I feel like this topic is so important, triggers, that is. And I'm going to go into a little bit more about why people buy in this video as well. But first, I just want to share that there's an Ani DeFranco quote that I absolutely love, and it's what she says is, "We'll see what you're made of by what you make of me." And before I go into the whole trigger conversation and what I said and how, there were a lot of reactions in people about it, what are triggers? Triggers are when we have an actual response to something that's like, oh, I hate her. Or like, it's like a feeling of like judging. It's a feeling of like feeling emotionally provoked by someone else or by something else. And triggers are magical. If you want to really accelerate your own personal growth, if you want to really accelerate what you're up to or your business, like work with someone who triggers the shit out of you, because that person has medicine for you. That person has some knowledge for you. That person has some deep wisdom for you. And here's the thing, we're human beings, we live in environments, we interact with people, and we are responding to things every single day. So there are so many opportunities for and the thing about responding to things and being in reaction to things is that other things outside of ourselves, our environments, other people, are actually mirrors to what's going on within ourselves. And that's why this whole triggering aspect thing is so key and so important, because the more that you understand, why did that not sit well with me at that moment, the more you can actually own what's going on within your own experience and see what's underneath that. And so you're all dying to know, what on earth did Jen say to a group of conscious business owners that triggered them? Well, I talked about a Maserati. I talked about like how much I'm just like, I kind of want to drive a Maserati, not a Tesla, not a Prius, not something that's a little bit more environmentally friendly, like an asshole car, because Maseratis are asshole cars, right? And they're beautiful and they're fast, and I really, really like the idea of a Maserati. And so I said that to a group of conscious business owners, and there was a palpable reaction and triggering of it. And what's really, really behind that is this concept of what's right and what's wrong. This judgment of what's good and what's bad. And this is where a lot of people in business and a lot of salespeople, a lot of people that are selling things really, really mess up, because the moment that we are in judgment of something or someone else, the moment that there's no way that we can possibly influence them. All right? If I'm judging your desires, I cannot influence it. And if I'm in judgment of your desires, guess what? I'm in judgment of my own desires. I'm in judgment of like my own desire to maybe drive a nicer car, or maybe it's not a Maserati for me. Maybe it's something else. Like maybe it's just something that's completely unnecessary and frivolous and indulgent. And I'm in judgment of that for myself, which comes down to money mindset. It comes down to us being okay and owning what we desire and being okay and having it and receiving it. And a lot of times in this whole conscious, spiritual business world, we're not really okay with our own desires. And there is so much judgment. It's like, I had a conversation with someone yesterday where it was, he was experiencing some issues and saying like, but they're wrong, because look at all of the enlightened language that I'm using. Look at how smart I am. Look at how much I invest in my own personal growth and personal development. And look at how like not conscious these other people are. And by the way, this is exactly what's going on in our country, like in terms of politically, which I'm not going to go there, but just because it's so triggering for people. No, not because it's so triggering. It's just like politics aren't necessarily my thing at this moment. But when we watch how much we judge other people, we see where we're judging ourselves. When it's like, I'm so much better than this person because my ideal car is a Tesla and I'm environmentally conscious and it's not a Maserati, then we are creating separation. We are breaking rapport. We are judging them. And we can judge them from our conscious state, right? We can judge them from a place of like, I'm so woke, right? And they're not. And is that really woke? And so anyway, owning your triggers. And here's the thing about sales and selling and why it's important to understand your triggers and know your triggers is that every single time someone wants something, feels like they need something, desires something, they are wanting it because they feel as though it's going to make them feel in some sort of way. People buy based off emotion. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand, especially entrepreneurs that are selling a product, selling a service. They get so mired in these are the benefits and the features of the service, and let me give you 3 pages of everything that this includes. And that's not why people buy. Like it's super important to have that framework. It's important to understand the parameters of how people work, but people buy based on how they perceive something is going to make them feel. So when you ask, all right, Jen, like, why do you want a Maserati? And I'm holding this whole Maserati thing very, very loosely. Like, why do I want a Maserati? It's because, the way that it's going to make me feel in my life, it's going to make me feel successful. It's going to make me feel significant. And so here's some ninja content in terms of influences. If people buy based off emotion, what are the emotions that people need/want to have? What are they desiring? And so this is just like a really powerful persuasion and influence skill set. And I teach a lot more on influence and persuasion in my sales embodiment incubator. So if you're interested, let's have a conversation for sure. You will walk away with a lot more mastery on persuasion and influence. And it's going to support you in sales, making conscious sales, making woke sales, whatever kind of sales you want to make that's in alignment with you. But the reason that people buy based on emotion, and this is something that, so there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which most of us know that is the triangle. And this is a variation of it that I learned from Tony Robbins. And he calls it the 5 human needs. And the 5 human needs are as follows. There's certainty. And so when we're doing sales and when we're saying like, oh, consistent cash flow, recurring revenue, like certainty is kind of like that safety and security, right? And so when we're marketing to that, we're marketing to certainty, right? That's the emotion that people are wanting to go when it's like a money thing. They're also going for significance, sometimes they're going for contribution. But as we go up, the other thing is variety or uncertainty. Right? And like, that's like, okay, I want to go on a vacation. I want to have this. I'm going to go to Burning Man. By the way, I'm going to Burning Man. It's going to be my first time. So any of you that are going to Burning Man or have been to Burning Man, I am welcoming all of your feedback and guidance and advice from me. But variety, right? Like, so people buy because they want to experience something different, right? Something new. People buy because of significance. This is my example with the Maserati, right? Like I don't want a Maserati to, feel certainty. Like that's not, but significance. I want to feel important, right? And so there are so many other things that people buy or make buying decisions from a place of significance, right? It might be, working with a mentor in their highest level program because they want to feel significant. This is like the VIP offers, right? Like, oh, like I didn't just get a ticket, I got the VIP admission, right? That's significance playing out. The other is love and connection. And this is when we go and engage in community, or like I hire a relationship coach because I want love and connection. I want more intimacy in my life, right? I want to feel that love and connection. I want to be able to express it more freely, right? The other human need, and I'm climbing up, by the way, is growth. And so this is the personal development. This is like, hey, I want to take on this challenge. I want to do this. Derive for the human need for growth. And then finally, contribution. So these are individuals that are going to be talking about the legacy. They're going to be using a lot of hero language, and they're going to be talking about what they want to give, what they want to contribute to the world. And so they might be the ones that are like, yeah, I want to make billions of dollars because I want to have a massive legacy, or I want to, have like the generational wealth for my family that they never had before, or I want to donate to this large nonprofit organization. That's contribution, their need for contribution, right? And so these are the 5 human needs. And as I mentioned, people buy based off emotion. So when you're in a sales conversation, really listening and not judging people, which means owning your own triggers and doing your own inner work, and understanding where they're at and what it is that they desire in terms of, are they looking for certainty? Are they looking for variety? Are they looking for significance, love and connection, growth, contribution? Like, what are they actually looking for? What are they actually desiring is really going to support you in understanding them and making them the right offer based on like their emotional state and what they're looking for. And so if you take nothing else away from this video, aside from my desire for a Maserati, just take this. People buy based off emotion. People move based off emotion. People do things, are motivated to do things based off emotion. And consider this for your own personal history. When was the last time you did something drastic in your life? Maybe it was moving states. Maybe it was like investing in yourself at a really high level, something that was like wild and out of the ordinary. What was your primary motivation? I bet you any money there was emotion there. I bet you any money there was pain that you were trying to get away from, or a vision that you were trying to aspire to, right? And so understanding that people buy based off emotion, people move based off emotion, people take action based off emotion, not based off logic, not based off, oh, these are the benefits and the features, is really going to support you in sales, in your sales conversation, and having a framework as to what emotional state is this person seeking to have. Why do they want this thing? And we're all motivated by different factors and different, at any given time, Tony Robbins, 5 human needs at any given time. Like we all want all of those on some level. We all, and it might be derived from different things, but we all want all of those on some level. And at any given time, I have my primary 2 that I'm usually playing in, right? And so identifying what that is for your coaching clients, identifying what that is for your prospects, the people that you are having conversations with in terms of working with you, is really, really going to support you and understand, and even in your marketing, like understanding, hey, like what is my offer? If you're a relationship coach, people want love and connection, right? Like, that. So understanding what your market is seeking in their work with you is going to really support you in making compelling offers and selling more effectively. And so I will talk about triggers a lot more, because I made a post about being like the good girl in sales, and that whole notion of being a good girl is just false, and it's by whose standards? Who told us that we can't have this? Who's saying what's good? Who's saying what's bad? And again, it's just reinforcing judgment, and you cannot influence anything when you are in judgment of it. And that's why it is important for us to own our triggers, know our triggers, understand like, hey, as people and environments and things are drifting into my consciousness, how am I reacting towards them? How am I reacting against them? What is that? And what comes up in me? And if I want to influence this thing that I hate or that I don't like, but I want to participate in influencing it in a way that would feel in alignment for me, how am I showing up to it? So thank you so much for watching. This is a really, really deep, big topic. And if you want to learn more about influence, if you want to learn more about sales and persuasion and are interested in this to support you in your sales and making sales as you, as an authentic version of you, as an authentic version of who you are, and coming into sales conversation fully as you, self-expressed with your heart, and also have the skill set and the tools to be able to support people in making an empowered decision, let's have a conversation. My sales embodiment incubator is open. It is really, really incredible. And consider what having support with your sales will do for you over a period of time. What will it do for you forever, in terms of learning skill sets and persuasion, right? And what will it do for you over the course of the next 6 months? How will it improve your business? You are deserving. You are worthy. So if this is piquing your interest, let's have a conversation. All right. Have a beautiful Friday. Ciao.